public school and private school. Today I want to know which of the two schools greater impact in equipping future leaders. Yes, this is what we want to talk about. There are so many things. I know what's ringing in your mind. I know what's running in your mind. You have already drawn a conclusion. And I say we did. Yes, but there is more to be discussed. Before we move on to that, I want you to hit the subscription button. Just hit the subscription button, go to the bell, click on the bell, that is the notification button, click on all, and any news that we drop, any video that we drop, you will be the first to be notified, to be alerted, and you will be the one to enjoy. You're gonna enjoy our videos from today onwards. So it's Associated Press Ghana, it's at AP News GH. The moment you type it in, AP News GH, Associated Press Ghana. If it is not Ghana, if there is no Ghana attached, it is not mine. It is Associated Ghana. You are the reason why I am here, and I know you are going to help me to be able to come to you every blessed day to bring you the best of entertaining, educative, and informative stories. Thank you so much. Let's watch the montage and come back soon. Wow. So quickly, let's hop on to our discussion for today. I want it to be interactive. Just go to the comment section. Tell me how you feel about public and private schools. I went to a public school. I also went to a private school. I know you have gone to both. Yes. But the truth is that there is a study. And the study there is that teachers that teaches in public schools, 96 of them have their children enrolled in private schools. Wow, clap for them. Very entertaining, very interesting. Wow, the teachers that we know are teaching our children, your children, my children, in the public schools. They have rather enrolled their children in the private schools. Why? Is it about quality education? Is it about training? Is it about equipping? Yeah, well, we will get to know. But the truth is, when it comes to greater facilities, private schools tops it. When it comes to facilities, when you look at the buildings, even the beautiful architectural design of private school buildings will give you the zeal and the power, the love, the appetite. It will quench your appetite to enroll your child at the private school, because the moment you enter the environment, even the school car itself, come on, and cry a fans cry at the mouth with your friends. You understand? Because the moment your friends see the private car of the private school coming, it is a boost. It is a greater boost, and that is why that is some of the factors that some parents consider in enrolling their children. Quality education. So greater facilities, they top it all. But public schools, share free compulsory universal basic education. Go to school. Whether you like it or not, you have to go to school. And so sometimes you do not have a uniform, sometimes you have nothing, but then you must go to school, because it is FQ, it is free compulsory universal basic education. Yes. And sometimes when you go into a class, infrastructures are poor. The infrastructures, no painting of the building. One classroom, there are more than almost 50. There are more than 50 people in a classroom, and you wonder, how are they able to absorb what the teachers teach them? And in government schools, I don't know if there are no school buses that comes to pick children. So at the end of every day, you have to walk. You understand? Check the playgrounds. Food terminal and movie growing. The dust is where you're gonna mingle. And sometimes people are just crossing the schools. People are just using the school as pathways, and it's a distraction to education. The environment is not conducive, and so there is nothing you can do about it, because this is public school. So private school tops it when it comes to great infrastructure. Clap for private schools. Exactly. Then when it comes to theoretical educational approach, private school tops it. Yes, they tops it. When it comes to educational approach, theory, the teachers will teach you. You understand? They will make sure that you are fed with knowledge. Yes, and so textbooks, the checking of exercise books, the checking of class tests, and all things. They assign class tests to students day in and day out, every blessed day, and there is an inspection of class tests. So every blessed day, when you come from school to the house, you have to make sure that you do your homework, your assignment, because you know very well that if you go to school, you know very well that there will be inspection, and so you must do everything you can. You must make sure that you are attentive to your books, you stay glued to your books. But in the public school, teacher Nino Kranenia. Yes, sometimes, inspecting even the work, even marking it, is something else, and it's something that really puts the students off. So the educational approach is there, though the teachers are mastered, trained teachers from recognized institutions across the country. But the reality is, the moment they get into these public schools, na akwadron aba na akoyensem bebrebe. So instead of them putting much pressure, instead of them encouraging the students on their learning, it is a different story altogether. So when it comes to inspection, supervision of teaching, educational approach, private school tops it once again. Give it up for private schools. Good hygiene and environmentals. Private school is on top. Yes, take a closer look at the school's environment. The school's environment tells it all, that this is a school, and this is a school that equips children. We teach them how to be hygienic in every aspect of life. I quite remember some time ago when I used to attend private school, before you enter the main gate, you make sure you inspect yourself before you are being inspected. Yes, so always it was like, I have to inspect, I have to dress well, wash my school uniform, iron them, go with decent socks, especially the white and the black. I had those people that know those days. Black, so socks white, so you look decent. Now, before even you get to the main gate, there is a teacher standing, inspecting your inspecting your dressing, inspecting your appearance, your fingernails. Sometimes they go to the extent of inspecting your teeth. Imagine, say, if you didn't brush your teeth. But in the government schools, who is going to do that? Akola no ba no ampesi ni abọ na no wakuta no na on and walk carry them. Inspection. It is free, compulsory, universal basic education. So even if you try to inspect the child, the mother will tell you, I didn't force my child, though. It is the government that forces the child to come to school because I had no money. You cannot do any inspection. So the hygienic ability, the hygienic approach in government schools are very poor. Very, very, very poor. And so with the private schools, I bet you, they are on top. They are on top of that. So these are some of the reasons why so many parents, they just want the best from their children. They enroll their children in order for the children to gain knowledge, in order for the children to be highly equipped, in order for the children to have that responsibility, that zeal of dressing, that zeal of looking decent whenever they come out of the home. Let's also look at this. There is superior sporting activities in the various private schools. And when I talk about superior sporting activities, the government school have sporting activities as well. But sometimes check it out. Then government school children, then they are more of partaking in sporting activities. But the private school, man, there is an artificial astroturf. There is a good and a conducive environment. Sometimes they are doing sporting activities, but after even the sporting activities, you don't feel like they were doing sporting activities because the atmosphere, the environment is decent and it doesn't affect the personal hygiene of the children. But in our public schools, check this out. Oh, that's very interesting. In private schools, there is an integration into the IT world. Students have been integrated to suit the modern standard, to suit the modern approach, to suit the modern method of living, which is information technology, information technology. That is the priority of private schools. They make sure that they invest in IT, they invest in well-sound computers, they invest in IT personnel to teach students, to teach the children, the people, what IT is all about, how to use computers. And so by the time the children graduate from junior high school in the private school, they are equipped. But in the public school, it will take 1 year before you can even be able to access the one computer that has been bought by the community in the laboratory. So it's very sad. It is very sad. And as we are speaking, it really affects growth. It really affects the academic standards, the academic performance of these children. And so sometimes with these points, you might think private schools are best. They are best in everything. Guys, let's also analyze this. They are best in everything when it comes to academic knowledge, when it comes to facilities, when it comes to educational approach, when it comes to good hygiene and environmental, when it comes to superior sporting activities, when it comes to integration of people into the informative technology world. But is that all? I want you to watch this video. When you are done with this video, I'll come back and I'll give you some hints. Watch it.
Patria Segan and Penny for sale. One boy near baby in Siade. Your school down soon in pa, and then care bank here, baby, Siade, and see your baby in Siade. It's your son, baboy. Patron, your school boost me now for. You're down soon in pa, and your baby in Pontina. A mouth for Kunyan so sounds so boo. And your baby in Siade. It's your swear one son, baboy.
But Saturday na so no to na school na panam de minim sa panam ba me ba mbeji na aduana se no na me su na ye student ba ku sam se adent na me su na me ka se de ye school na ye be de na ye suade no ka se me kwampo de me jimi toto na me ka se me jimi na ye school na pan ni e books na fo no bo mpo ma me school bet me dia to book amano inti na me su.
It's a very sad video, very, very sad one. You could see the child, they are affected by rains, by heavy strong wind, and their roofing has come out. Their books have been affected. And imagine this young child trying to seek for aid from government officials. It tells you the strong mentality that is attached to government schools. Now, when people go through all these challenges in the public schools, one thing that is left for a determined student ready to come out successful is that they always avail themselves for the challenges that comes. They are able to provide solutions to some of their challenges. Some go through hunger, some go through a whole lot. You know, the ones that are not determined, sometimes they end up getting pregnant. Yes, teenage pregnancy in the government school. These are some of the effects of the carelessness of our public schools, you understand. But let's come out with a rating on the determined students. You know, there are certain students that we started with them today, they are doing great and they are associating their success to where they started in life. So it means government school is not you understand, but there are greatness associated with the challenges that people go through in government schools. Even Genesis reveals that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void. The earth was formless and void. Government schools, there are formless and void situations, but there is determination. So government schools, what I want to say is that aside all the challenges that we have mentioned, these challenges prepares us. So government schools, the challenges they go through, they are preparatory grounds for greatness. Why am I saying they are preparatory grounds for greatness? Let's compare the private school student to the government school. When he is coming to school in the morning, he has a ride. The parents brings him, the parents drops him at school. And even if the parents don't have the car to drop him, school bus is there to go and pick them and drop them at school. When they close, he picks them and he drops them home. Yes, so the child early in the morning, he wakes up, gets into the comfortable car, drops to a comfortable school, gets into a comfortable classroom, being attended by a comfortable teacher, and it's comfort. There are no challenges being hit. So always their mind is straight. No challenges, no zip zaps, no ups and downs, no here and there. So their mind is always learning. They are not presented with practical challenges or problems to solve. So it is always good. Sometimes the teacher comes to class and there is no chalk for writing. So you have to make sure, because you are determined for greatness, you need to psych your mind. Sometimes there is strike action. Teachers don't come to school. You are poised for greatness. You are determined for greatness. Therefore, what must you do to be able to catch up? Because the basic education certificate examination, which is the BECE, there is nothing like this is for public school students and this is for private students. We all write the same examination. And so when teachers are on strike, when public school teachers are on strike, it affects education, it affects learning. You, the student, it is your mandate because you have been presented with a challenge. You must prepare yourself. You must find ways and means. So imagine finding ways and means, to be able to cope and scoring aggregate 20, aggregate 16, and all the great aggregates, and letting a private school student who wasn't presented with a challenge score the best of grades. When we compare the two, you were presented with a real natural challenge. So you came out, you were able to resolve that, you were able to pass through it, and you have been able to secure said grace. Now, when you grow to become who you want to be in life, the impact of your life will be much greater than somebody who attended a private school. Why? Because right from your infancy, right from your childhood, even in school, life presented you with challenges according to the society to resolve. And so you are able to tackle, you are able to see that you are able to have sympathy on what people go through in the communities. So that is one ability, that is one positive that we take from public schools. MPs, greater people in the country, sometimes they attribute their success that, I started from this school, there were challenges, and so I passed through it. By the grace of God, I have been able to reach this standard. And I am here to give out something, to provide a quota for the students also to be able to have access to this and to that. All because the challenges they went through, the problems they were presented whilst in school, they were poised for greatness, so they took it as a form of preparation for their destinies. And this is a +1 for public schools. Clap for public school students. Yes. In public school, we experience what life is. Naturally, we experience what life is. In public school, life is about challenges. Life is about ups and downs. Life is about toughness. In fact, if you are not tough, you cannot be able to deal in life. If you are not tough, when situations hit you, you are something else. In public schools, because of the challenges we face, it looks like nobody cares about anyone. So, in basic public schools, you are of your own. The moment you move from your home, and you come and back crying, you come to the class. The moment you come from the house to the school, it is the same pattern. If you learn, fine. If you don't learn, fine. It takes a good teacher who likes you, who will get closer to you and advise you on certain things you are going through. That wouldn't help your life. We have good teachers in the public schools who really cares about the welfare of students, but some teachers, they just don't care. Opa Jimmy, on phone, opa Siri, on phone, opa all they know is that at the end of the day, life will come back to hit you. But a determined student in the public school, he sees the school as the community of life, as what his parents go through, the crowdiness in the class. Sometimes teachers don't feel comfortable coming to the class. He feels that it is part of what he has to go through. Therefore, he has to use that opportunity to strengthen, or he has to take advantage of that opportunity to do something beneficial concerning his or her academic studies. And at the end of the day, it comes back. It comes back to help them whenever they grow, whenever there is a challenge in the community, in the country, when they are greater leaders in the country. So public schools, one thing is that they experience what life is. What life is not always about sweetness. Sometimes there are some monies that needs to be taken to bring certain resources into the school to empower academic studies. But because it is free, compulsory, universal basic education, at the end of the day, students, teachers, headmasters cannot implement that because it is not within their means. They have not the money to be able to use that to buy some things like computers or something. But in the private school, all these things are catered for because the motive of the proprietor in the school is to equip students with quality education. He's investing into education. So in the investment, he has attracted certain categories of rich people. So they bring their children, the bills are on them. Whether you want to travel with their children to Jupiter to learn. Yes, I mean Jupiter to learn. They are ready to pay because it is in their means. But public schools, computers is even a challenge. IT is even a challenge. There are even some go to the extent of not having blackboards, chalks. These are all things that are really affecting public school education. And a determined student in the public school sector sees it as a sort of experience in life. When he or she grows and is presented with a similar challenge, he is able to go through it and find appropriate solutions to it. Clap for public school students. Yes, clap for them. Exactly. In public schools, it's about determination. If you don't determine, you are not going anywhere. Just like the points I have given, it all boils down to the point of determination. In private school, you better crow, come on, oh, school money, oh, you save money, oh, the car is there. When you are in public school, who is going to pamper you to go to school? Who is going to pamper you to go to school? Tell me. They tell you, it's your life. It takes a few parents who call their children, encourage them, reveal the benefit of education to them, and encourage them to go to school. But it's not something common in public schools. Sometimes public school, the non-serious students, class is ongoing and they are in town. Yes, but in private schools, even the walls you can't cross. You can't cross the school gate because there is a security man always checking. So in public schools, if you are determined to do well in life, that is one area that helps. Determination is key. If you are not determined, forget about public schools. You can go anywhere. So sometimes, there are programs that have been lined up, like excursion in the public school. Your parents do not have the money. You being the solution is that you have to strategize a way to trade. Some years back, I remember when there is an excursion, when there is a tour, designed by the public schools to Kumasi. What they do is that because the parents do not have the money, children, the people will either go into get firewood to sell. Some go to the extent of getting palm branches for brooms, to get money to pay for the excursion and all that. So in government schools, always you are a solution to yourself, and at the end of the day, when you are able to provide a solution, it becomes a part and parcel of your life. But in the private school, Parents have the money. When the challenges come, ma, this is the bills. Dad, this is the bills. Sis, this is the bills. You ring your father who is in America. You are always calling on your parents to come and resolve your challenges for you, to come and pay your bills for you. But the child in the public school has got nobody. He's got nobody except himself. Parents do not have the money. He or she is determined to be a greater person in life. So always he calls it upon himself. He tries to create craft. He tries to, start doing things. Others go to the extent of say obe bushine, obe yam pabwa, after school, but say quick, akwa shine, gone are those days. Today it still exists. And so at the end of the day, they become responsible leaders in life. Unlike the person in the private school who didn't experience these challenges. People, the greater things in public schools that sometimes we undermine, the public schools in one way or the other are equipping us to be better in the society, are equipping us with the challenges in the society so that we can find solutions to it. Now, as we pass through the process, as we are being processed through kakran, we grow to become responsible leaders. Clap for all public school people right here on this platform. Yeah. So you see, public school or private school? I leave it to you. I leave it for you to answer. Public school or private school? This is where time will permit me to draw the curtain on today's public school and private school debate. Just go to the comment section and drop your comment. Go to the comment section and drop your comment. Let me know where you stand. Let me know where I stand. Let me know the reality of the public school and the private school debate. And I know it's gonna be very fire on this very platform. It's at AP News GH. At AP News GH. Click on the subscription button, go to the notification bell, and be alerted anytime I drop a video. Thank you so much for your time. I love you so much. Keep on visiting my channel, keep on watching my content, and there are more that will be coming in the next few days. Catch me same time tomorrow. Bye.